By the end of this video, you will have ComfyUI installed and running locally on Windows using an NVidia GPU. Today, we are doing a manual installation of ComfyUI on Windows 10 or Windows 11 on a machine with an NVIDIA graphics adapter. Manual install gives you the most control and flexibility, and it helps avoid a lot of common conflicts that happen when Python packages mix with your system environment. This video is part 1, Prerequisites, Cloning ComfyUI Git repo files, Creating a dedicated conda environment, Installing PyTorch, Installing ComfyUI, and Launching the web interface. One important note before we start. Several steps involve large downloads, so a good internet connection is recommended. These are the exact stages we will follow. If you already have a prerequisite installed, you can skip that segment and move on. First, I assume you already have the latest NVIDIA driver installed. If you do not, download and install the latest driver for your GPU from NVIDIA's driver page. Next, check whether Microsoft Visual C++ V14 Redistributable packages are installed. Open Control Panel, go to Programs and Features, and look for the Microsoft Visual C++ V14 Redistributable packages. If it is present, you are done with this step. If it is missing, download and install it. Install both versions, x64 and x86. If you don't have V14 redistributable packages installed, but there are Microsoft Visual C++ 2015-2022 packages, you are still good and don't have to install anything. Now install a Git application. I recommend Git for Windows. Download it from the Git for Windows page and install it like any other Windows application. The URL of the Git download page is given in the description of the video. In case you need help with its installation, you can watch another one of my videos on this subject. Its URL is given in the description of this video. Next, we will make preparations for creating a dedicated Python virtual environment for ComfyUI using conda command of Anaconda application. The key idea behind using a virtual environment is isolation. You keep ComfyUI's Python packages separate from your system Python environment to avoid version conflicts. Using conda command also lets us pin a specific Python version to the created virtual environment. Even if it says on the ComfyUI page that the project supports newer Python versions, some custom modules often require Python 3.12, so using Python 3.12 is a practical compatibility choice. To use the conda command, we need to install Miniconda application. Download Miniconda Windows 64-bit graphical installer from the Anaconda Miniconda downloads page. It is a pretty much straightforward process, so I will not go into it in detail here. However, should you need any help with this task, there is a separate video about doing this on my channel. Install the downloaded package like any other Windows program. During the installation, select Just Me. Never mind the warning, set this checkbox. Now let's check the installation. Open the command prompt window and execute command conda --version in it. The system should reply with a message indicating the installed conda package version as shown here. So far, so good. Let's do another check. Execute command conda activate base. The prompt should change as shown here. So now we have successfully installed Miniconda and are ready for the next step. But before we proceed, deactivate the environment, executing command conda deactivate. This should return the regular default prompt. Now clone the ComfyUI GitHub repository to your machine. In this example, we will clone it to the root of drive D, but you can choose any other drive or folder if you prefer. Open command prompt window. Switch to drive D and go to the root. Your prompt should show d:\\. Then run the git clone command. This creates a folder named ComfyUI in the root of drive D and downloads all necessary files into it. Next, we create the virtual environment inside the ComfyUI folder, instead of the default location on the system disk. In the command prompt window, switch into the ComfyUI directory and run conda create with a prefix path. Use Python version 3.12 for ComfyUI compatibility with many custom modules. Activate the environment by running command conda activate with the full path. After activation, the prompt changes to include the environment path, which confirms the environment is active. Now check the Python version using Python -- version. It should match the Python version you selected when creating the environment. Then check that pip is installed using pip -- version. Next, we need to install PyTorch package in the activated ComfyUI environment. For meaningful work with ComfyUI, you want an NVidia graphics adapter with at least 6 GB of video RAM, and this tutorial assumes NVidia, not AMD, graphics adapter, because the prevailing approach uses PyTorch package with NVidia support. From experience, PyTorch version CU128 works for most RTX 3060 graphics adapters with up-to-date drivers. So we will install PyTorch using the CU128 index URL. Run this pip install command. Note that PyTorch package is about 3 GB, so you will want a good internet connection. And now we finally have all the necessary prerequisites installed and are ready to install ComfyUI itself. This is probably the easiest part of the entire process. Let's do it. In the command prompt window with the activated virtual environment, make sure you are in the ComfyUI directory. Then execute pip install command as shown here. Several Python packages will be downloaded and installed. Depending on the quality of your internet connection, the whole process should take between 3 to 7 minutes. If there are no package version conflicts, ComfyUI is successfully installed. To launch ComfyUI, make sure you are in the same command prompt window with the activated virtual environment and in ComfyUI directory. Then execute command python main.py. This window must be kept open while using ComfyUI. Now open a browser and enter this address into the address line: localhost 8188. This should open ComfyUI graphical user interface. This concludes part 1 of the ComfyUI manual installation tutorial. You are almost ready to use locally all these tools, but not quite. Although we have done the main part of the work, there are still a few things that need to be done. These are considered in part 2 of the tutorial.